What's up, guys? You already know, it's me, Kira, and today we'll be talking about 10 techniques that used to be commonplace but are now rarely seen, if ever. By the way, as of today, we are 100% complete with our mind-bending puzzle games demo. If you want to participate in our official closed beta, go to epiphanycity.com/demo and type in your email address and we'll send you a Steam key as soon as we've integrated it into Steam. So back to the list, here are 10 techniques that became obsolete in Super Smash Bros. Starting off with number 10, OBSOLETE. Now, I know that upon seeing this choice, our viewers have already begun typing out angry comments. But while OBSOLETE is definitely useful for the common Smash player, at the highest level it is quickly becoming obsolete as a recovery move. You can pretty much always cover the OBSOLETE at no risk at all, and with no loss to your standard edgeguarding flowchart. And if you're feeling extra spicy, you could even read the inevitable spot dodge for an extra early kill, since they have no choice but to ASDI down with the C-stick and press L or R to activate the OBSOLETE. That's why many players are beginning to simply opt for the standard survival DI to at least give themselves another chance at life instead. However, since OBSOLETE will always have some use, especially from the middle of the stage, it only barely scratches the list at number 10. Number 9. Dr. Mario's Up B Cancel. Once upon a time, this was a new Shine Out of Shield, except it had a huge range and setup for knee. However, over time, we've realized it doesn't actually combo into anything at all, even on fast fallers. And if you miss, you can't jump cancel it like a Shine, so it's not a bad out of shield option in a vacuum, but when considering the risk reward, it definitely has the lowest possible reward. Number 8. Moonwalking. This used to be a staple technique learned by everyone and their moms, but recently moonwalking has quietly removed itself from high-level tournament play. Moonwalking was last seen when Mango's space animals would do crazy edgeguards off stage, but even he hasn't done one of these swaggy back airs in a while. So it's been put back on the shelf and reserved for non-tryhard friendlies only. Maybe none can bring this back one day. Number 7. Samus's Extended Grapple. Also famously known as the Extender, Samus's Extended Grapple requires a complex set of inputs to activate. However, that means that players can almost always see it coming. Back in the day, it may have caught a lot of people off guard, but now that everyone knows how it works, it basically just makes Samus's grab even worse than it normally is. It can't grab anyone who's airborne, it gives you more lag than normal, and if you don't press A or Z exactly when it crosses your opponent, it'll whiff, even when it should have hit. Number 6. Isaiah dropping. This technique was all the rage back in 2006 as it really helped speed up your platform game. Isaiah popularized this technique as a way to quickly fall through platforms after doing an aerial on them, by pressing forward on the control stick for a split second before dropping down. But these days, shield dropping exists, and we can reliably make every controller able to do it. So, as a result, Isaiah dropping got completely dropped for its faster and safer successor. The one place where it is sometimes applicable is for Falco lasers, but since it's possible to shield drop laser, everyone should just be doing that one. Unless, of course, you're lazy like me, and then you can help keep the old school dream alive. Number 5. Jab cancels. By pressing down in between jabs, or holding a certain down back angle, you can cancel your second jab in order to start your first jab again instead. This is sorta useful for characters like Samus, who rely on jabs for shield pressure, but generally it's almost all bad now because of the prevalence of crouch canceling. And if you've seen our recent video on it, jabs can also get you reversal from a pressure situation to getting 0 to death. On to number 4, triangle jumping. You may have never heard of this, but triangle jumping is a technique similar to wave dashing, except you dodge after you've actually jumped off the ground. It was claimed to be useful against characters like Marth, who would throw out laggy, long-range attacks, allowing you to both avoid the attack and get close enough to punish it. However, it requires such a precise timing and a super hard read on a laggy option, and there are safer, more reliable ways to pull this off. Although, Zelda's air dodge in particular does go further than her double jump, and is also invincible 1 frame sooner than the rest of the cast, and since she's incredibly slow on the ground, for her, it's actually still viable, which lands triangle jumping at number 4 on our list. Rounding out the top 3 is foxtrotting. This technique uses a character's initial dash to move around the stage, which has a burst of speed at the start. But that's pretty much where all of its benefits end. Almost any other option is better for moving around the stage and having more precise movement. Even if you wanted to reset where your dash stance starts from, you could just wave dash forward and you'd still have less lag. There's pretty much no reason to ever use foxtrotting, it's just too slow in every situation, and that's why it's only used in Ultimate. Number 2 of most obsolete techniques is mind games.
No mind games, son. No mind games, let's play your mind games.
Now, I know this one sounds weird, but believe it or not, this is actually listed as an advanced technique and was considered a fundamental of competitive play for almost a decade. These days, people only mention this technique in jest, as a throwback to 2007 when the most common bit of advice told to new players was to work on your mind games. Mind games are more or less a catch-all phrase that could refer to any type of strategy at all. Today, we use more descriptive terms like baits, mix-ups, conditioning, options, and game plans to describe the myriad of interactions that mind games covered back in the day. It just wasn't a term that was helpful to anybody, and it actually over-encouraged hard reads and held back a lot of optimizations that have been pushed by more methodical players. And so it has now become completely obsolete. And the number 1 most obsolete technique in Smash Bros. Is Bowser's flame canceling. Congratulations, Bowser mains, you finally reached number 1 at something. Flame canceling is performed by pressing neutral B right before Bowser touches the ground, which makes his flames instantly reach full power rather than needing to charge up. This transforms Bowser's neutral B from a 23 frame startup to a 2 frame startup, making it tied with the second fastest move in the game. But despite this, you may not have heard of flame canceling, and that's because it literally does not exist anymore. The version of Melee we play on is actually version 1.2, but flame canceling was patched out after versions 1.0 and 1.1. The ability to turn around midair was just too strong for Sakurai's taste. But don't fret, you can still perform this technique in version 1.2. By picking Kirby and inhaling Bowser, you gain the ability to flame cancel as it was never patched out, likely due to an oversight from the developers. So you know, this is probably why Kirby made it 1 spot higher than Bowser on the most recent tier list. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a bit more general than what this channel is used to, but I just thought it'd be fun for everyone to see. And also, you're actually all amazing, because this channel finally hit 100,000 subscribers. And, you know, I didn't say what I would do once we got here, which is my B. So just post a video idea to the comments and I'll add them all up and make any video you guys ask for. Literally anything. I have a lot more to say about this milestone, but I'm just gonna save it for Twitter and our YouTube community tab. It's funny, despite having 100k subs now, I know that after a 3-year break, there are only a few deadly Falcos that still view our steady show. So if I had a crew of legendary bros and you were wondering who I'd help out if I accrued a ton of dough, well, all I'd have to say is you already know.